Okay, everyone, we're going to talk a little bit about insurance and how to pay for insurance. So, why is this brought in under the wheel strategy? Well, in the wheel strategy, we own long shares of stock. We're selling covered calls that reduces our cost basis. Now, that cost basis reduction in and of itself is a little bit of insurance because we're simply reducing our cost basis every step of the way. But I'm going to show you a way to apply a little bit more insurance to this. In fact, you can darn near insure most of the position. I'm going to illustrate what I'm talking about when we get to the P&L diagram in a couple minutes. Essentially, what we're going to do with the collar is we're going to use the profits or the proceeds from selling that covered call to buy ourselves a floor in the position. If you do this right, you shouldn't have to take any money out of pocket. In other words, the entire proceeds from the call will buy the put that will give you protection below a certain point in your position. So we're basically selling a call, which we're already doing anyway because we're covering our stock, selling a covered call, but we're going to use that money rather than put that money in our pocket and use it to lower our cost basis. In certain instances, if we want a risk off type scenario or we want to reduce our risk, we can go ahead and buy insurance with that. So again, 2 steps: sell the call above the market, just like we do in the wheel, and then buy a put below our current price. The trick here is to try to set this up in a way that it's going to be zero out-of-pocket cost. In other words, whatever we gather on the call side, we're going to spend on the put side. So this is going to be, again, when you want to take the risk off, but you don't necessarily want to sell your position. There could be a lot of reasons for this. One might be that you have, for example, an earnings coming up and you just want a little extra insurance around earnings. Another one could be that the market, whatever it is you're in, has rallied significantly, maybe up into a resistance area, and you think that might fall back. But if it falls back, you don't want to give up all your profits. But you also don't want to sell your stock because, particularly if you're not in an IRA account, that can have tax consequences to it. So if you want to hold this position longer, but yet you want to mitigate the risk in it for the time being, this is a viable way of doing it. Just like in the covered call, you're going to give up everything above your short call strike. So you are capping your upside for sure. If this underline ends up just ripping higher, you're going to get a portion of that right up to where your covered call is, and you're going to get the premium, but you're not going to get anything above that. You're essentially creating a box. You're boxing yourself in, but that can be a good thing. Yes, you are capping your upside, but if you've already had a big run and you're thinking there's limited upside left, well, you're also boxing in on the downside, meaning that you are quickly capping your risk. You're buying a put. That means that if the market sells off hard and goes below your long put, you're not going to lose any more money from there like you would if you just had the 100 shares of long stock. Tax rules around collars can get a little bit tricky, so if you're going to use this strategy at some point, make sure you talk to your tax professional first and understand those consequences. Now, if you're in an IRA, there shouldn't really be any consequences, but again, I'm not a tax professional. You need to consult your own on that. Now, if you want to open this trade up, you can scan the QR code shown there. I'm going to go ahead and pop it open here in OptionStrat so we can take a look at it. Now, when you pop yours open, the options may be at different locations depending on where the market is at any given time. The thing I want you to look at, though, is this is long, 100 shares, as we can see here. Market is currently trading at 767. This is assuming that I just bought those shares today. Had I held them for a period of time, this would have looked different. And when your particular options open up, they may be at different locations as well. But I urge you to slide them around and play with them a little bit. So in this particular case, I would have sold the 775 call. And I take in $9.50 for doing that. So that's going to be premium that I'm going to take in for selling this particular covered call 30 days out in time. Now, if I want to insure myself to the downside so that I don't have any risk below a certain point, in this case, I chose 760. In other words, if SPY goes from 767, where it is now, down to 600 or 700, My max risk, the worst I'm going to do is $754 in loss. So while those 100 shares might be plummeting out from under me, the fact that I own this put and this put I would have paid 975 for. So this is close to a wash. It's not an exact wash. I'd be a couple cents out of pocket here. But again, as we mentioned, this creates this sort of box look. I'm going to move this out to expiration so it's a little bit cleaner for us. So this box look basically means that I have capped my upside. I can't really make more than $754 here. If SPY rips up, I'm not going to participate above 775. But the flip side is if the market tanks with this scenario, I'm also not going to take part in the carnage or the losses below 760 because whatever my stock loses in value, my put will gain in value. Now, if I only head on the covered call part of the wheel, let me just exclude this for a minute. We can see right now my max loss is $754. If I exclude that long put, my max loss went to $75,000. Okay. I mean, that's taking SPY all the way to zero. Of course, that's not going to happen, but it can have a significant move down. And I would be suffering that entire move down on those 100 shares. The fact that I sold this covered call up here for $1,700 does reduce my cost basis a little bit, but not a lot in the overall scheme of things. So this is not something you're going to use all the time because it does take some of the steam out of the upside, the positive steam out of the upside. But of course, it is capping our downside risk. So this is something you're going to want to use in a particular situation where you feel like the market might be overvalued, might be getting ready to pull back. Many times in our markets, as we hit that late September, October area, our markets do sell off more often than not during that period. It doesn't happen every year, but that's a logical time that some people will do something like this because we kind of have hit, in many cases, an upside peak for the year. And there's many times a little bit of a downdrift during that period of time. So that should give you a good sense as to how this collar works.